Hi there, welcome to the College Cinema. My name is Aaron, and we have a very special host here tonight. Not even a host, like another host here. And we got Cinema Dave Media. He has an amazing channel and extreme wealth of knowledge when it comes to this. And we are going to be looking at the Vinegar Syndrome sale. We got some really neat ways to look at it. Hey there, Antoine. Hey there, Sarah. Hey there, Yach. But let's bring Dave right in, and let's get started. Hey there,
Aaron. Hello. How are you, sir?
I am eyeing my coffee. That's what I'm doing. It's 2:30 in the morning here.
2:30. Wow. I took a nap. I said I took a nap, so I'm ready to go.
I took a nap and made spaghetti, which is like,
Spaghetti. Oh, that's
like,
perfect.
no, it's like the heavy food. Like, don't make heavy food when you're gonna do stuff like
Yeah,
this.
you got to be careful, right? Yeah, I'm drinking some tea too, but it's funny. I've been watching The Sopranos lately, and because I had only seen, my wife and I are watching The Sopranos, so every time we watch The Sopranos, we want to make spaghetti because everybody eats so much spaghetti in there.
That's like when I watch Matlock. I got hot dogs. Kind of the thing.
Does he always go for hot dogs? Does he go to the hot dog cart or something? Is that what happens?
Well, Matlock is like a liar, but he's super cheap, so he's always going to the hot dog cart, eat hot dogs in every episode. I'm just saying. So right now we got the thing up here.
Oh, nice.
Like this is just the placeholder they've had for a few years. Yeah, they're strange. So what are you thinking about this stuff here? Like, you got some interesting things. You got a really interesting thing that we're going to do, actually.
Yeah.
But we know Showgirls is coming.
Yeah. Which we weren't that happy when we did our last live stream too. We weren't that happy with it, right? Especially the artwork and things like that. Have you changed your mind about Showgirls? Do you think it's are you going to pick it up, or what do you think?
See, I reviewed for like Umbrella for a while, which is one of the newer partner label companies. So they sent me this like a few months ago.
Yeah.
Now it's not a 4K, it's a Blu-ray Showgirls. One thing it does have that the other one doesn't have is it has the documentary here called what's it called? You Don't Know Me? Like a documentary on Showgirls fans.
Yeah.
So but I guess in a way we're wrong because I guess the general populace really loved it. It's their highest selling of their titles.
Yeah. Is that do you find that strange though? I mean, especially after our reaction to it. I just remember. Yeah.
It's like basically this gets in people that aren't buying the regular Vinegar Syndrome stuff.
Yeah.
Or what used to be the regular Vinegar Syndrome stuff. These are the Rads and the Roadhouses and the stuff that other people are going to buy. So when it comes to this, there's going to be people that are going to come in to buy Showgirls that probably never heard of Vinegar Syndrome before.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the first time buying.
But I mean, that's a good thing for the label though, isn't it? I mean, it's a good thing for their site. There's a lot of good things, I guess, if it brings more people to the site too, right?
Oh, wonderful. I mean, like now it's the best for me. I'm like, okay, I'll eventually buy it because I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
And I love the movie, but it's not something I was super, super stoked about. Hey there, Jesse. That I was super stoked about when it was announced. It seems safe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get it. But here's a good question, actually. Yates asked, what specific title should have come out in its place? I think Showgirls was the best choice for the company.
Yeah.
100%. I wanted Punisher, 1989 Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. That's what I want.
Do you think that's a possibility for this sale then, or do you think it's,
future? I think something like Punisher, if they can do a 4K of it eventually, it screams VSU. Like so for anybody's new, VSU is Vinegar Syndrome's like 4K label. It's called Vinegar Syndrome Ultra, and basically they have stuff like Beastmaster, and they have like got a 6-string Samurai, and just some really kind of more not mainstream, but more kind of drawn the different audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope it was like, I've heard rumors but nothing really like concrete. What do you think? What with Showgirls? Would you buy this?
Yeah. I think there's a great possibility. I was just going to say too, and this may be a little bit off topic, but since we have some time, I really think there's some interesting things happening in the marketplace these days. I just did a video about what's happening with streaming and things that are changing there. And I feel like this is a great time for companies like Vinegar Syndrome, because I think there's going to be a big turnaround where people are going to really go back and say, I wish I had started a physical media collection. I wish I had bought these, these movies, because things are disappearing. Things are getting censored. There's lots of stuff happening, I feel like, on these streaming services, where especially content is getting moved from one streaming service to the next. So I feel like it's a great time for anybody to start, not just Vinegar Syndrome, but to start a physical media collection. I feel like it's a great time for that. I don't know what you think about it, but it's just something I've noticed over the past couple of months, that really things are changing.
Oh, big time. Like even Disney announced they're taking stuff off of Disney Plus. Like
What is going on there? Yeah.
it makes no sense. But
Yeah.
unless, they're going to be focusing a bit, like I've heard that Disney wants to do some stuff with physical media still. And I don't buy the when these people say, well, streaming's one, it's just, but nobody, physical is not a thing. Like physical is a thing in the same way I
Yeah.
say now that that vinyl is a thing.
Vinyl.
Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
become a
Yeah.
collector's market. But it's a big collector's market. It's not like previous. Like for instance, the collector's market before, if I was to go back in time, I would say remember Laserdisc. So
Yeah.
Laserdisc, 100% a collector's medium, right?
Yeah.
That if you had a Laserdisc machine on Laserdiscs, you were a movie fan. You were a movie
Yeah.
lover.
I had
Whereas
one, by the
everybody
way,
else
but I gave mine away. Do you still have your Laserdisc player? Do you have a Laserdisc
My
player?
my oldest, she has it.
Oh, okay. I still have a couple
She's a huge
Laserdiscs too. I still have some
fan.
Laserdiscs.
I pass on the love, man. But no, it's a great time
Yeah.
to collect, and that's the thing. People are going to be looking at all the stuff that's kind of to print, or stuff that came, and people are going to come into Vinegar Syndrome and say, "Oh, say if you say
Yeah.
you like Jello, for instance, okay?"
Yep. Yep.
And you go into Vinegar Syndrome, you see the Forgotten Jelly box set. Like one of my big recommendations for this sale here is Volume 3. So if you don't have it, Dave, it's a really cool volume, and you like your Jello.
Yeah.
So volume 3 has the neat thing of being right in the middle. So volumes 4 and 5, they raise the price on. Volumes 1 and 2 is no longer a box set, it's a slimline case, right, with 3 discs in it. Volume 3 is still the big limited edition hard box, but it's the same price of the standard editions. So definitely gonna put a big recommendation on that one out there.
No, that's great. I mean, I was just going to say, just to close the thought on that too. If you have a favorite movie, if you have a favorite TV show, get it now, because that's what I feel, because so many things are getting pulled off. You know what I mean? So, and this is anytime there's a sale, go for it. That's what I say.
Oh yeah. And a second guess is when people, there's a big controversy about oh, what about bootlegs, right? A while back, and I saw it, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll make some videos on this, and then but it got really heated.
Yeah, I heard
And
about
I'm
that.
like,
I didn't. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm not a big bootleg person, but I want to own WandaVision and get Falcon and Winter Soldier. Here's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
How many disc manufacturing plants are there? I don't know. Actually, the thing that
I
really
know.
pushed vinyl was the lack of pressing plants.
Yeah. Well, do you think they still do a lot of burn on demand, especially for Blu-ray? Forget about bootlegs for a second, but don't you think they do there's still some Blu-rays that get burned on demand, right? I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
not
Warner
just,
Archives.
Warner
do
Archive
it.
does it. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a couple of places that still do burn on demand.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell. Sometimes I got that TV show Station 11, and I thought it was a bootleg from Amazon, but I think it's legit. I wasn't, when I got the disc, I thought this doesn't look like it was produced by a studio.
Do you want to see the best bootleg I ever got? And I'm meaning kind of the best in a good way, but the best is in a hilarious way. This way right here, because this is fun.
I've said this before, Aaron, but I love it when you get, in your early videos when you were in Canada. I've said this before, but I love when you get up, because I would join the live stream and nobody would be there, and I know you're there, right? Because I know you're upstairs getting tea or something, or I know you're in the tea or whatever it is. Like someone's asked you a question. I just love that about your channel. I have to say how much I love your channel. Also, I've said this before many times, but I'm such a big fan. I love it when I can join the live streams. I don't always catch them, but when I do, it's such a blast, and you're so welcoming, and it's like being in an old time video store where someone comes in and the bell rings in the door, and you say hello, and I have to say, as a viewer, I really appreciate that, and I really love that. You really keep everyone involved, and it's a great thing. It's a joy to see.
Well, I love your channel.
It's a joy to see.
I put you on here for your knowledge. That's what I do.
I don't know that I have a lot of knowledge in this area, but I love being on here with you. What'd you get?
See this?
Look at that. Oh my goodness.
So I was at I got some stuff on Kijiji, which is kind of like a Facebook marketplace type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was buying some movies. And hey, thanks, return. And basically they said, well, we got one other thing, but I don't know if you're going to want to buy it. We have it for $5 if you want it. So what is it? So we bought this CSI set from China.
Oh my
and I'm like, I was curious. So this, guys, by the way, is the first, and it is like, it's definitely burned. It is the first,
it looks like it. That's a huge box, by the way.
It's beautiful. Like you open it up and it's like, you see like they come out like this.
Yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But what's neat, what kills me is this. The back of it says, so everybody knows CSI, right? So this is Grissom, and this is the whole crew.
Yeah.
But at the back of the box, for the description of it, it says Horatio Kane, a former homicide detective, heads a group of investigators who work crimes in the steamy tropical and cultural roads of Miami. Not in this, he doesn't, because that would be CSI Miami. So this has the description for CSI Miami, but for the actors, because you have like listing, it says for the actors, it says starring Russ Tamblyn, Sidney Poitier, Oscar Malda, in The Medallion with Jackie Chan. I just love that type of stuff. Those type
oh my
of
goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take off.
No, that's good. I mean, yeah. It's funny because like I said, I feel like, entertainment costs money to make. So I'm not a fan of bootlegs. I mean, that's just my thing. Like I'd rather have a legit copy come out, as much as I would love to see shows. I mean, there's lots of shows that I was so upset when Westworld got pulled off Max now, right? It's not HBO anymore, but then you have to buy that, then you have to buy that. I mean, I have HBO and it switched over to Max, and it was a little rocky for many people, right? I don't know if you have that service, but
I don't. We had like Crave and Canada, which is pretty much like gets all the HBO stuff.
Yeah.
So we were like pretty big when it comes to for HBO shows. I remember us watching like Game of Thrones, the final season. What was that? It was on. But the thing is, I like for this, I have all the seasons of CSI, but this was too much of a cure.
As a novelty, it's cool, right? I mean, but yeah, for sure.
But that's the thing, like the chance when you take with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like I think for some people, like it's going to come to the point where like there's just stuff that for some reason or not, like there's shows that are not going to they're not getting physical media releases. That Disney.
Yeah.
And,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
I know.
Like it's an untapped market.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's it's really frustrating too, because if that show moves or goes to another service or whatever, the licensing expires or whatever the case is, you're stuck, right? You have to buy another service to do that, and so anyway.
How many seasons of Westworld were there?
I think there were 4 seasons, and so I liked the first season. I really liked the first season, and then my wife and I got the second season and third season from the library, and we didn't like it as much. But I would still buy it though. I think it's a remarkable series. I really like it. But the first season was my favorite, really, so far.
The first episode's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
but I mean, I love the movie. I love the movie, though. That's the thing. I love the movie Westworld, right? I mean, I think even the movie is very rewatchable, right, from the 70s.
In Future World.
In Future World. Yeah, absolutely.
But you were looking at a AI website.
Yeah. So here,
explain this.
So I'll do a little AI intro, because AI, artificial intelligence, very fascinating to me these days with ChatGPT. But also, Google's got a product called Bard, which you can use. Everything's free and open. ChatGPT is another tool developed by OpenAI, but it's not connected to the internet. But Bard is connected to the internet. So I was just asking it in preparation for this. I said, so with these AI tools, you have what's called a prompt, which is essentially a question, but you can refine the question to to make the answer more specific. So I thought as we go along tonight, if we want to ask it questions, we can do it. It's just kind of a fun thing to do. So what I did was I asked it, I said, do you have any predictions for the upcoming Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday sale? Now, it first responded with, the generic stuff you would find off the internet, like nearly everything in their home video catalog is 50% off, blah, 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 this kind of stuff, archive releases. I said, which films do you think will be in the box set? Now, Aaron, you're the expert on Vinegar Syndrome. I consider you the expert on, on this, but I just am going to read out the films that it listed out. And you're probably going to say, oh, that was already released. It's not, because these could be wrong too, right? So the first one it said was Blood Rage from 1987. So I don't know. So is that already out? I don't know.
Well, Vinegar Syndrome's box set this time is going to be VSL. So it's Vinegar Syndrome Labs.
Yeah.
So that's going to be dealing with a lot of like the older titles. So they've had movies from VSL come out, like The Cat Creeps and like the kind of the 30s French portmanteau with Edward G. Robinson, Flesh and Fantasy. And they had like a 50s like monster movie, Kuroko, Beast from the Amazon.
So do you think that's a legit answer, or do you think it's just a made up thing? Because
it's like it's going to be a made up thing.
It's a made up thing. All right. Well, I'm just going to read. I'm just going to read what it said. It's interesting. It's interesting to look at these artificial intelligence tools too, because there's a lot of people that think that artificial. We could be 5 years away from artificial intelligence running everything, right?
So. Well, I'm actually on. What's kind of comical is I'm in the midst of making video. Right now, that's where I actually asked ChatGPT to give the history of my channel. And they got a lot of things wrong. And I'm doing a video where I'm actually going to read that out. So
that's great. That's great. Yeah, it's and the next one I'm just going to read the ones that and again, you can tell me these are already out, which they probably are, but what the next one it read out was The Burning, 1981.
Well, it won't be an 80s one, but it's like that's Scream Factory. What's Scream Factory?
Scream Factory, okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if like Scream Factory didn't have the rights and like down the road, a 4K of The Burning came out from Vinegar Syndrome. That's actually a possibility.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so then the next one is Pieces from 1982.
Grinders Releasing. One of my favorite movies of all time, actually.
That's interesting.
Juan Picar-Simon.
Interesting.
Pieces is the one about you don't have to be in Texas to have a massacre and have Chainsaw Massacre. And it's like, have you seen Pieces, by the way?
I haven't seen it. I have not seen it.
Oh my God. But... It is insane. It's great. Christopher George is in it. There was a guy, like a martial artist, that was just going by like the set apparently one day. So he just wrote a scene for him, like in the movie. It makes no sense. There's the lead actress, Linda Day-George. So she's walking along the campus at night. And all of a sudden, he comes out and he starts doing karate on her. And it's like this other guy comes out like, no, don't worry. That's just my instructor. It's like, where the hell did this come from? Oh, gosh. But no, I love the movie.
Interesting. What about the next one it reads out is Chud, 1984. Has that been out?
Arrow Video. That's a good movie.
Arrow.
That is a cool movie. If you've never seen Chud, I'd definitely recommend Chud.
I must have seen it years ago, and then the last one is The Toxic Avenger. But we can refine the prompt also to say what can you give us more details about something, right?
Yeah, like movies from the 30s to 50s type thing.
30s and 50s, yeah. I said also, do you have any predictions for the archive releases? And so it come up. I'm just going to again read these. This is mostly for fun, right? Because we don't, this is probably not right, The first one it said was the incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies from 1964.
Severin, actually, that's part of the Andy Milligan box set.
Okay, see, The Naked Kiss, 1964.
Oh, did Criterion put that in? Actually, I like that movie.
Maybe that is the Criterion. Yeah, that's Criterion. Right? I thought. Yeah, Criterion.
That's Fuller, right? Samuel Fuller.
I believe so. Yeah. Bloodbath, 1966.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
You think that's
Arrow? There's like 4 or 5 versions of that movie. Like that's a Corman film. Like
I know. It'll be interesting to see if any of these are correct. They're probably not. The next one, The Driller Killer from 1979.
Oh, look, Antoine's correcting me. It's not It's not Andy Milligan, it's Ray Dan Steckler. Thank you. I wanted that mask, by the way, that Ray Dan Steckler mask, which I didn't get. The Driller Killer, that's Arrow. Abel Ferrer, one of his early films. Actually, Vinegar Syndrome had another one of his early films, which I can't like name on here because it's one of his other type of films,
Right.
which we can name in the Patreon chat.
Right. And then the last one is The Funhouse, 1981.
Screen. But I would not be surprised at all if Funhouse came out from like another company. Wait, didn't Screen put out like a 4K of Funhouse, guys? Like recently? I'm pretty sure they did.
Was that in the last? Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, I just thought it was interesting, kind of a fun exercise, because I always test it out to see if these tools know things. I try to pick a special interest that I have that I know a lot about, and then I will ask it a lot of details to see if it's correct or not. And a lot of times it's not, right? So.
Well, according to ChatGPT, I was born in 1987, which is fantastic. I love
that. That's great. Hey, that's
that.
Good news for you.
Yeah, I know, man. I've de-aged. No, it's cool. VSAs are so hard to predict, and that's because of the fact that, let's be honest, guys, like VSA started out as something, and I have no idea what it is anymore. Like where it goes. You want to see the clue? Are you ready for the clue?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, guys. So here you go. This is what you get.
Have these clues ever review? If you look back when you have the clue, have you been able to see that this clue means something?
The first big sale that they did, I remember that them doing, like the one that had the first big box set, well, it was the Angel trilogy, and I read like, I think people here will remember this. I remember 1.5 sentences, and I was like, that's the Angels trilogy. I know exactly what that is.
What about that? If you look at the picture though, what about the pattern that you can kind of see, right? With the red stripes and the yellow stripes. Does that tell you something? Do you see the pattern on the so you have like a Y.
Flag,
yeah, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at the photo a little bit more closely too, but and then you have the Y also that's being covered over, right? So you've got another interesting.
Like it's like this is a box set here, guys. So this is going to be the VSL box set. Somebody said that could be trilogy. That word could be trilogy, but but the thing is that trilogy, it's a 4-movie set. That's the killer.
Yeah, it does look like a G. That does look like a G.
In the comment section, got any guesses? Because I'm curious. Like if anybody has any guesses, man, feel free to guess.
I'm stumped already.
I'm expecting like this to be some. I'm expecting this to be like Asian. Like have you noticed, Dave, that like Asian releases have really taken off in the last like year and a half or two?
It seems like it, yeah.
Like it seems like ever since they made that like the big announcement that that they can retroactively censor over there, that basically we're getting out as much as possible. And I'm so glad about that. Like we got the Shawscope like set, the first one from Arrow, and we need to get second one too. Yeah.
I think that's don't you think that's great for physical media collectors of just get the stuff out there as soon as possible. Right.
I mean, yeah, no, hell yeah. As much as possible. But the worst part is there's too much out there. Creepy Keith says he thinks it could be in the Line of Duty. You think would he go like that late in like in time for VSL? See, VSL is a weird one to predict. Like they've been like a lot of like earlier stuff.
Yeah.
So Warlock says the Eye. I would love that. Actually, I love the Eye. I actually even love the American remake of the Eye, which was rare for me to actually like.
Is that a trilogy, Aaron? Is that a trilogy or?
It had to be a 4 unless you put like there's a.
See, because then if you go with the trilogy, that does look like a G next to the Y, right? Just from where I can see it, so probably it is a trilogy, right? You would think.
Hey there, Jimmy. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, if it's a trilogy, then it at least should have one movie that's been remade.
Yeah.
So that we get 4 films on there. So like, just say you make Ringu, right? Like I said, there's 4 of those films. There were 4 Asian Eye movies. So there we go. I would like that. But that would like mix away from trilogy. But and it's 4 movies. That's a weird thing because if this is trilogy,
yeah, if it's
some
a trilogy,
people thought like it was orgy, and not like in like an adult type way, but in like a different type of way. Hey there, Mike. Quadrilogy. There we go.
Quadrilogy. Yeah.
Yes. That makes perfect sense, and I didn't even think about
Quadrilogy.
that. You pronounce it all right and stuff like that.
Go draws, yeah. Sleepaway Camp
Camp, I
set.
would kill
Is
for
that it? Is that? Do you think that's a possibility?
For VSL, not likely, but for me, I would kill for Sleepaway Camp. That's like, it's me. Like for me, Dave, like body chemistry or Night Eyes. That's what I want. I'm not going to get it. That's what I want. I want like the Night Eyes films. Like
I
there's
thought you
4 of
have
those.
input at this point.
4 of
I thought
those.
you'd have it. I thought you'd have input at this point because you're such an expert on it. I mean,
I wish. Like people
you
always thought
should.
I did too.
You have a
Like
direct line to them.
you know that for the longest time I would get like direct messages. Hey there, movie chatter. Hey there,
Hey
Clayman.
Stephanie. Hey Stephanie. Hey.
Off of like basically people just saying, hey, do you know what's coming up? And I'm like, no, I just like these. Have me argue for the size.
They should have you as part of the company. At this point, you should be with the company at this point, right? Don't you think?
I totally agree. 2 hours and 3 minutes.
2 hours.
It's longer than I thought, actually. So this, 2 hours and 3 minutes before the sale comes up.
Will we stay awake? That's the question. Will we stay awake? That's that's the question. Will we stay awake, Aaron? Right?
I'll be able to do it. Yeah, A Blade in the Dark, which I am excited about. The Boogeyman, Uli Lomo, The Villages of the Damned, like Spanish box set, and are there any of those there that interest you?
I mean, I don't know that I don't have Showgirls, right? So that would be something that if I was going to get it, I would get it from Vinegar Syndrome, right?
Yeah, like it's going to be the ultimate edition.
Yeah.
But
out of the other ones, which one do you recommend? I mean, like, what's your top pick out of the other ones, or do you just like them all?
The top picks for me, it's going to be Village of the Damned, like the Spanish horror box set. But my personal favorite out of the 4 of these here is probably one that most people aren't going to pick, and that's The Blade in the Dark. It's Lamberto Bava, like the son of Mario Bava. I wouldn't say it's his best work, but it's fun. It's giallo, and I love my giallo stuff. It's kind of a really unique box art with it. So that's going to be that's definitely killer. The only one that I've seen so far, like the Jamie, we looked at the one with the quadrology, which I think we're pretty sure that's what's going to be now, for VSL, and the only other thing that I know of, like right now, is like I looked up at the here where we know that there's 2 surprise Vinegar Syndrome UHDs, 2 new VSAs, a new VSL Labs box set, new catalog and variant slipcovers. That's gonna be interesting. Brand new limited edition merchandise and clothing, 50% off pretty much everything on our site. Now, I think it's probably kind of best to note right now, and like to let everybody know, Dave, is that for the first time ever, nothing in 2023 is not going to be on sale. They're going back to be prior to 2023. So it's going to be 2022 titles. So if you're looking to get any of the January, February stuff from or March or April, those won't be on sale for 50% off. It'll be the titles like from November and back. So anybody hoping to get that cool Japanese box set with the kind of bloody camp on it. What do you think the rainbow skull means? That's the one that kind of blew my mind. What do you think the rainbow skull, man?
My first reaction, I like the logo for whatever reason. I think it's pretty creative, but it's hard to say what it means, right? I mean, I think it's just an eye catcher kind of a thing. Like
I'm thinking like, is this, is it a drugs type of reference?
I don't know. I really don't know. I thought it was very eye catching, right? So I mean, for a sale, it's pretty good.
No, I mean, I love it. I mean, like, we'll look at the FAQs in a little bit too. Now, MakeFlix, by the way, guys, they're having their sale here too. Have you checked this one out, by the way?
I haven't checked this one out yet.
So that one starts in like later. So what we know basically is that they're going to have the Memorial Day sale. That's going to have things from $9.99 to $14.99 with 25% off. Some $4.99 package DVDs, $2 for disc and art. Retro Media titles for those $4.99. Retro Media, by the way, guys, is Fred Olin Ray's company. One of the first companies ever collected was Retro Media. And there's going to be some side effects Free side effects may vary. Mini poster. So usually with MakeFlix, they'll have a couple like new titles in the middle of theirs as well. So have you ever bought from MakeFlix before?
I haven't.
Like it's like I haven't bought anything from them yet myself. Like I bought a lot of my retro media stuff because I used to live in Ottawa, and
Yeah.
there was this store, and it was in this like kind of strip mall type place. So I'd go down there and they'd have movies, but they had like a lot of like records, and there was like some movies in there as well. And they had this like end cap, and the end cap was all retro media stuff. And at the time, I was not making a ton of money, so it was like they were the perfect like price for me.
Yeah.
So it was the first place that I saw Blood Harvest with with Tiny Tim. If you haven't seen that one, man, you got to see that one. It's insanely good. And not only Tiny Tim, but dude, it's got Peter Krause from 6 Feet Under.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
Yeah, like a very different role for Peter Krause too.
Have you ever been to a place called the Archive in Connecticut? Have you ever been there? Because I grew up in Western Mass, and so that's a place that's on my bucket list to go there, because they're always, I think I follow them on Facebook, and they always have like a ton of stuff there, and it's in Bridgeport, Connecticut, right? So I would love to go there, but I don't know if you were ever there or not.
I wish. No, I haven't been to the States in a long time. But it's that's on my bucket list of places to go. That's Vinegar Syndrome's, like that was their first store.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so I mean, but they have a ton of other stuff too.
Oh yeah, they got like a bunch of stuff.
I mean, if I get the space to do it too, I would still love to collect Laserdisc and VHS and as much other. Even though I have a VHS player, but I don't really know why I really need VHS tapes. But I still would like to get. But they have a lot of VHS tapes there too.
That's a neat thing. So basically, any queer, any like LGBT type stuff that's going to be indication of Rainbow Skull. I actually never thought about that. That's actually, I don't know. Actually, I'd have to think. Hellbent from 2003. That's kind of new though. I think Hellbent's a little bit new, but Vinegar Syndrome seems to have gone in different directions now. More, I guess, more mainstreamy type stuff. But you still have the weird stuff because this is still the company that put out Ebola Syndrome, and still not a fan. still not a fan. But of that film. But that's me. I'm in the minority. Have you ever seen that one?
I haven't seen that one, but you know what a lightweight I am when it comes to Vinegar Syndrome, right? So I mean, I have a very modest Vinegar Syndrome collection.
See,
with
I was
most
a
of the stuff I showed
subscriber.
last time. Yeah, I know.
I
Do you
was
think
like,
it's
so I'm
worth?
like,
No, I was going to say, do you think it's worth it to be a subscriber? Do you like being a subscriber because do you get? I would be new to that, so
if you got the bones, man, to be a subscriber for it, like, yeah, it's great. Like Creepy Keith's in the majority right there. Um, but the thing is that for me, when I was a subscriber, it was like about a little bit before we started getting ready to move here. So like my funds were super like tight at the time. Not
yeah,
as tight as they are now, but like kind of basically I was getting ready to move, so I was trying to save as much as I could. So I
sure,
said, okay, I'm going to become a subscriber, but then I'm not going to buy anything else.
yeah,
So, but the thing was, all this other stuff was coming out. I was like, oh my god, I can't buy this stuff, and um, like like the thing is, you got to like Vinegar Syndrome. You got to like the
yeah,
titles. You got to say, okay, I like what this company puts out enough that I'm gonna put my hands to the company's, my faith, the company's hands. I'm just gonna get everything. Um,
and there's certain
so
priorities, right? Because all the movies get shipped out first, right? So I mean, you're going to get things because I place Vinegar Syndrome orders too, where I do wait a little while, before my order comes in. But it's usually because there's other, you're going to get a priority, right? If you're a subscriber, of course, yeah,
oh yeah, priority for
yeah,
subscribers. 50% off all the partner labels. That's actually a really
yeah.
good one, especially since
That
there's
is a
so many
good one.
partner labels.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But the thing was, when I got it, um, I that was my money for it,
Yeah,
so I couldn't use a 50% off coupon. So,
right, right.
well, for me, it wasn't, but for most people going in, like they save up their money ahead of time. So now the halfway to subscribers not happening this weekend is going to have its own week for the first time ever. So
Yeah,
July 1st to July 7th is going to be halfway subscriber week, and it's going to be a special week that they're doing for subscribers. So for people, and people can go and get the halfway subscription then. Now, if you like the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, definitely recommend it. I have not seen that any of the films on on Homegrown Horrors box set part 2, but I wish I had. And yeah, if you're a partner label fan, if you buy like Utopia and you're a fan of like the Fun Sea Edition
Fun
stuff,
Sea Edition stuff, yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome anymore. But if you're fans of like the Umbrella stuff and all that type of stuff, and you're buying a lot of the partner labels, then it does.
But do you think more of the partner labels are going to move off on their own, like Fun City did? I mean, do you think that they're going to, because they have, I don't know if they're still providing titles to Vinegar Syndrome, right? But I mean, they're sort of off on their own now, right? With Party Girl and that kind of thing.
They went
right?
to MVD Entertainment. Right. So basically, their last title was the last one that showed up, like for Vinegar Syndrome. Now anything else that they got is just basically being sold off.
Yeah.
And some titles just aren't coming back. Like the Primetime Panic box set. That's one of the great sets they put out. Which I have
that one also, the Primetime Panic set.
That's one I recommend. Like you can definitely show that one on channel, because I don't want to have to climb again.
Do you want me to go grab that one? I'll go grab that one if you want, Aaron. Sure. I can show it. Yeah. So hang on a second here.
But yeah, guys. So for like the subscriber thing's not going to be happening during the sale. But the halfway is the best. Like Warlock set it right here. It's a great way to test before you go and buy a year-long subscription. Now, for me, it sucked because he started with a whole bunch of titles that I didn't, that I wasn't exactly super interested in. I think Ebola Syndrome and the Cardona collection were the reasons I didn't resubscribe at the time. Because at that time they said, okay, we're going to do 2 more volumes of the Cardona collection. I'm like, I'm tapping out, man. I can't do 2 more volumes of the Cardona collection. But I definitely recommend. I recommend it if you can afford it. If not, then just pick and choose. That's what I do right now. I think he's back to the set.
Does this save you a climb? If you know. Here's the Primetime Panic set, right?
It is gorgeous.
Which is really nice. Yeah. I'll just open it up here. I'll show the back. I love the artwork on this too. I really love the artwork on this.
Have you watched them yet? It's a great set.
I probably saw these when they were, because these are TV films. Yeah. I thought. Yeah. I'm sure I saw these already, but I have not watched them again, but
Easier.
Let me see if I can show any of these here too. I just love it how it's like the black and white. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you sort of have this like hard case too, like on the inside. So all the films are basically on this, on the inside here, which is really nice. I really like when companies do this. It has really good shelf appeal also, right? It looks really good on the shelf, which is nice.
That's fantastic. I assume, and I'm guessing you did too, like that the black and white thing was done to kind of represent like what you'd see in the TV guide at the time when they'd showcase the films.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I brought this one over too, right? You were talking about Homegrown Horrors, right? Do you have? There's Homegrown Horrors. I love the. Oh, you don't have this one? You don't have Volume 1?
No, I don't have either.
You have Volume. Oh, really?
That looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful box set.
Because people always ask me about it. Did you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I liked it a lot. I mean, this is a great set. I love the. I'm just going to show the side also. Let's see. Yeah. So, but these will be included in the sale. Yeah.
Volume 1 for sure. Both volumes will actually. No, wait.
Both volumes came
in January, so maybe not. If Volume 2 came in January, no, but Volume 1 for sure. But I think Volume 2 came in like November, right?
Yeah, Volume 2. Yeah, Volume 2 is on my list to get, but
yeah, like that's like all slashers, and like regional slashers are a lot of fun. So definitely recommend like that recommendation of that one there. That's a good thing. Like, does anybody have any recommendations as well? Like for me, I'm gonna again give a strong recommendation to Forgotten Jelly Volume 3. If you don't have it, it's at that cheap price in between. Definitely grab that. Hey there, Roy. Welcome, man. She is actually resting right now. We have a couple extra little kitties, so they're being quarantined till we can bring with the other 2 cats. So she's upstairs with them. Going in print now. See, I looked a while back, and it was still like Ticks is a good title too. Did you ever get Ticks?
I did not get Ticks, but
it's fun. Hey there, Corey. So Ticks has It's a monster film, and normally something like Ticks is like definitely not up my alley because I don't like insects and stuff. But the cast is so good on Ticks.
Yeah.
Like you got Alfonso Ribeiro on here. What horror movie should be the main priority? It's going to depend really on what type of horror films you like to try. Like for me, like when I said Jolly, and I mentioned that one, like strong recommendation on that one. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that's going to be going to print, and there's going to be like out of print section and the limited edition section. Now the difference between these two places is that the out of print stuff that's gone, it's not coming back. It's not coming back without a slip cover. It's not coming back at all. With the limited edition stuff, some of that stuff is going to be coming back without a slip cover. VSAs were like the type where basically Vinegar Syndrome archives, they're hard boxes. They have a poster with them, a big poster, and those, when they go to print, they used to not come back in print at all. Sometimes now they're going to have standard editions, but it's going to depend on the VSA. So I'd say look at if it's a numbers game, if you want to get some of the limited edition stuff or some stuff that's going into print, both partner labels and Vinegar Syndrome will have titles that are going into print. There's a few that have gotten really low, and I'm trying to remember which ones they are right now. There's a couple that have gotten down to like 100, or one I think was down to 85 or something like that. But I think that might have been one of the more adult titles. But one of the horror titles too was down to like 100 and something. Freeway is a fantastic film. I actually like Freeway 2, creepy. I really like Freeway 2. A lot of recommendations for Ticks.
I was surprised to hear you say you don't like insect films. I know we talked about insect films before, but
yeah, I'm arachnophobic. Like, I don't like insects, and my sister-in-law was like, I don't even like to kill an insect. She she feels bad. She'd rather like take them outside, and I'm like, I will squash in a second. Like, there's no way I'm not gonna. Freeway wasn't Freeway in like. Was Freeway when did Freeway come out? I thought Freeway came out. Was that January or was that November? Or was that in November? I think Freeway was in November, wasn't it?
I remember that one, but yeah.
The one with like Reese Witherspoon and Kiefer Sutherland. Now the remake not the remake, but the sequel had Natasha Lyonne in it, and I love Natasha Lyonne. So Fade to Black, yes. Oh my God, you got Fade to Black, right?
Fade to Black, yeah, I have, of course, yeah.
Fantastic one. Of course, The Collar. I always recommend The Collar. That was like, have you got The Collar?
I don't have that one, but
it's got Malcolm McDowell. Basically, it's
two. Maybe I do. Oh no, I do. I do have that. I showed that one last time. Yeah, I do have that one.
Yeah, like I was going to say.
Right. That was one of the recommended. Yeah, no, I do. I do have that one.
I'm scared of Snake Man from Dreamscape. He was creepy. I saw it in the theater when I was a kid. He had nightmares about him. Some people, we got a recommendation for Evil Laugh. Did you like Evil Laugh? Have you ever seen this movie?
I haven't seen that one. No.
You're not. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not missing anything.
He's not missing a lot. It's okay, but it's definitely on the. It's got a great cover, which is fantastic. So the guy that played Joey, in Friday the 13th Part 5. The guy, the one that's axe at the beginning of Friday the 13th.
Yep.
With the chocolate bar. So he's the director. And we won't get into, like, here was just some allegations a while back, but we won't talk about that. But he directed that film. But it's okay. I mean, like, it's fun for what it is. But you got to go in knowing this isn't going to be like even a graduation. This is going to be like a couple like rungs lower.
I was looking up Freeway 1996. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, that is a good one, man.
I have to, yeah.
You would like that.
I have to add that to my list.
Because it is such a weird experimental film, and I mean that in the highest possible way that I can. Roadhouse should be Roadhouse should definitely be actually.
Do you have that? Did you get that, Aaron? Did you get that, Aaron? Did you get Roadhouse or no?
Not yet. I want Roadhouse though. Like, it's a VSU, and that's the thing. So VSAs, Vinegar Syndrome titles, Peakoramas, all that stuff's going to be on sale, 50% off, like before 2022 on Backstop. However, Roadhouse may not be 50% off, maybe percentage off, but it may not be 50. VSU's last time they weren't. And I don't think that'll make it to the 50%. I think it'll make it to maybe a 30 or 40.
30%, yeah.
Champagne and Bullets is insane. I I'm not going to say it's good. I'm never going to say it's a good movie. It's not a good movie. I enjoyed watching it with my cousin. I'll eventually watch it with my better half, but I need a break because it's one of those movies.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I want? Like Dave, you know what I want to see? I want the Neil Breen Quadro. I want the Neil Breen films. I want those. Those I want.
The villain from Society had an appearance in Freeway.
I did not know that. Actually, I don't know if I knew that. No, I love Society. Society's fantastic. Arrow put that out, and I got the sexy edition of that one with the comic book.
Champagne and Bullets is gone now, so you can't get it. I guess
Is it gone?
That's what.
Oh, I did not know that. Roy would know, actually. Maybe it'll come back.
You do not recommend it. I'm hearing.
No, I would recommend it actually. But you gotta like bats. You gotta like if your collection has Miami Connection or The Room, Troll 2, the Cinema Snob movie. Yes,
you gotta have that. You gotta have that. Right.
Then yes, Champagne and Bullets got to be in your collection. $100 on eBay. That I hate when people do that.
I know.
Issues aren't really going, except for Six String Samurai. Yeah, they've had a hard time selling that one, man.
Well, did you say last time you said that Six String Samurai was just okay too, right? It wasn't you were. I remember you said you weren't a fan necessarily of that one, but
it was all right. I mean, like I think I liked it better than most people did, but it's that's the thing. Like it does its world building, and the main guy is a damn good martial artist. Like I'll say that for sure, but the world building doesn't always work. Like there's a movie that I thought like was going to work, wasn't going to work for me. Was Alien from LA. I'd seen it years ago and I didn't like it. Right? Hey there, trash man.
Hey,
but when I watched Alien from LA again, I ate crow because I really liked it, and I thought the world building, especially on such a low budget, Albert Pion, rest in peace, man, was so good. And Six String Samurai works sometimes. It doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion. No, Roy, I love Six String. There we go.
So you got to be in the mood. Yeah, you got to be in the mood for it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give a strong recommendation. Don't open till Christmas. I love this film. It's Edmund Purdue. I think that's in this one. He's also in Absurd, which is kind of like the loose sequel to Anthropophagus.
Yeah.
And but don't open till Christmas is about a killer that's going around killing Santa Clauses, and it's fun. I saw this one in theater, by the way, Dave. Reform Schoolgirls.
You saw that in the theater?
I did at Millbrook Theater in Corner Brook. I thought it was going to be sleazier than it was. I was disappointed it wasn't that sleazy. I was like, "Where's all the nudity?" Like, but no, it was a fun film.
Do you I spent some time with the Instagram post for the Vinegar Syndrome Instagram post. Do you think there were any clues in there? Because one of the things I read that I was going to bring up to you also is there's a line or there's a sentence that said, "Of course, we know you're as excited to see as we are to share our 2 secret surprise releases, which drip with blood and other regional charms." Do you think that's a clue of any kind?
Definitely.
So do you think, does anyone else think that's a clue for, I mean, what could that be? I guess I was reading into that too, because outside of the photo that you showed, right, I was looking for other clues here.
Oh yeah. Like they sent out the last email that they sent out. I'll just bring it up here on my phone.
And I was just looking at I think there was an Instagram post that had all this in here too. So
yeah, that's the one. Like it's
yeah.
And it is like triple and other regional charms, although
regional
one is
charms.
not American. So one of them is like, I'm going to guess it's a film that's done done basically somewhere where pretend to be the United States, where they'll put up an American flag in the background somewhere, like to say it's the US, like it could be an Italian film or Spanish or Canadian film even.
Not much of it, I guess there's not much of a clue there, yeah.
Yeah, we figured that might be quadrology. Somebody figured that out. It wasn't me.
But then there's another one. There's another set of upcoming VSAs, which includes the world disc debut of the longest ever version of a film with deep-rooted Vinegar Syndrome connections. What do you think that? What do you think that could be?
That is deep rooted Vinegar Syndrome connections means that it's probably related to a title that they already put out, other than the director or something that they had done before. So that's
the longest ever version.
longest ever version. Anybody got any ideas on these? Because there's some enigmatic clues here.
Yeah.
Right now. Like and I got thrown off by the clue this time with the rainbow skull. Normally something like that, I'd know.
Is that a clue though? Is the rainbow skull a clue? Do you think, or is it just there's always a clue there?
It's like that rainbow skull is definitely going to be once that's that'll be one of the artworks, part of the artworks, one of the discs. Because it's always like I remember when Devil's Story, when they did the thing for Devil's Story, people knew right away what it was.
Yeah.
When it comes to the rainbow skull, I think Roy may have a secret thing that he's keeping to himself. But there's a few things I would love to be. If there was like they said like kind of slashers, which makes me think, okay, it's not actual slashers, it's going to be like something related to the slasher genre. He knows he can't say on one title, oh, all right, we have an insider here. I like
Maybe if you stumble on it though, he'll
I remember when they were putting out, there's one title, I can't say what it was, but last year there's one title that was being put out by one of the companies, Vinegar Syndrome or Severin, and I had the knowledge on it like 4 or 5 months in advance, and I was like biting my lip the entire time, waiting for it to get announced.
Was the frog meant to be a clue? That's one of the questions there.
Yeah, I mean, like some people say, "How comes the frog town?" I think I thought the frogs, which it's an MGM title, and they put out a lot of MGM titles. So for those who know, the frogs is an environmental horror film. And
so you're okay with you're not okay with the insect. You're not okay with the insects, but you're okay with reptiles.
Yeah, I love me some reptiles.
Environmental.
We were when we came here to Morocco the first time, and we're having like a ceremony, like a kind of like a wedding ceremony, without the legalese part of it at the time. And so in our room we're staying in, we had a gecko that was super shy, and he would I turn off the light at night, and I'd hear right, and I would turn down and it'd be gone. So finally, I turned the light really quickly one night, and he's on the ceiling, terrified, and I'm like, oh, it's a gecko. So he's wanting to run, but he's scared at the same time. So I turned off the light again so we could run away, and we called him Gordon. Because Gordon Gecko makes sense,
right?
But I love animals.
Was that that must have been a bit of a new thing for you moving there, probably, right? To have lizards on the ceiling.
Oh, no, actually, no, that was but I love lizards. So that was not There's a message that I can't see the Rye message. Apparently, Warlock said there's a message from Rye. It says handled by another moderator. Okay, that's cool.
I haven't seen that, but the frog. I haven't seen the frog. I'm sure maybe I saw the frogs a long time ago, but I haven't seen it in a long time. You know what? I just upgraded my version of Piranha too. I had the DVD and I picked up the 4K for that, the 1978 version of Piranha.
One of Hin's favorite movies. Piranha's Spawning is right up there.
Piranha, yeah. Someone else mentioned the birds too, also, but I don't know if that's.
Oh, that's when they put out. Rick Rosenthal actually, the guy that directed Halloween 2, directed The Birds 2, if I remember correctly.
The Birds 2, yeah.
So that's the Vinegar Syndrome title. It's not. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but I'd buy it eventually. Featuring boutique on the rise of restoration labels on the roll. I would definitely keep me updated on that and keep the channel updated on that, man.
Wow. That
sounds fantastic. Fascinating.
That's great. That sounds really great. Wow. Especially after what we talked about in the beginning too, with just the physical media, resurgence or coming back in even a bigger way, I feel like.
Oh, it is like right
Yeah.
now, it's amazing. People think like, okay, there's no, they go to the local Walmart and they don't see as much like stuff, or go to the local Best Buy, but like that's not where people buy their stuff
Yeah,
nowadays. People
exactly.
buy
Yeah.
everything online. Like
Yeah.
the way we buy is changing,
It's different. Yeah.
and because of that, the stuff that's going out is changing as well, and we're starting to get a lot more unique titles. I'm hoping that both the VSAs aren't wacky action pictures with no budget. That I'm just hoping that's not Jaleel Merhi and Billy Blanks again. Just like I'm done. I'm like, there's been enough.
Yeah.
Um, Now that being said, like I'm glad I like those guys, and I'm glad they're making money on it. So that's fantastic. But I want
Yeah.
to see some. I want some more Cynthia Rothrock. I like to see Lady Dragon 2. Like I want to get those releases out. Remember China O'Brien? China O'Brien? Those like Cynthia Rothrock films. Those were cool.
I'm just reading the comments by Rye too about that. That sounds
Yes,
very interesting. Where he's saying they're saving, preserving, restoring everything. That's amazing. It'd be nice to really. That'd be interesting to know more about for sure.
100%. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what vinegar syndrome means, basically. So
Yeah.
vinegar syndrome is what happens to your
Yep.
film stock, like when it's not preserved well.
Yeah.
That's where their whole title came from. Like they were a restoration company, and they started out doing a with a Kickstarter type of thing for
Yeah.
some of the early titles, like the last films, Herschel Gordon Lewis, and a couple other ones. And they slowly gained traction. But when Vinegar Syndrome really gained traction, they really gained it quickly. And I think it was about year 5 when things started to pick up.
Yeah.
I'm excited and I'm wondering what the 10 movie box set is going to be. It's supposed to come out later on this year. That was initially supposed to be before here. Thank you, Sarah. I check out your channel too.
Thanks.
Sarah's really good stuff.
Yeah. So this is the again. I guess it would be helpful for me to know too that there's quite a few sales, right? This is the big sale, right? This is the halfway to Black Friday sale, but there's other sales, right, that Vinegar Syndrome has during the year, because I'm always checking out their site, and it seems like there's many films are discounted all the time, right?
Oh yeah, there's always
Yeah.
stuff that's discounted, usually like 30%, like
Yeah.
somewhere around that range. But sales for Vinegar Syndrome are twice a year. There's a halfway to Black Friday sale. No, there's 3 times now. There's halfway to Black Friday sale. There's the Black Friday sale, and if you like the adult titles, then there is the Valentine's Day sale. And that's when they put their adult titles and kind of like romantic titles
Right.
on sale. Used to only be 2, but that's become like their third one. Now this is a bigger year because this is their 10th year anniversary.
Yeah.
I will be honest though, we've reached June and I haven't really seen anything that's made it seem like a 10-year anniversary. You know what I mean? Like no
There's nothing
title has come
special
out.
for the yeah, there's nothing special for the 10th year, right, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like there's gonna be a box set, but it seems like a lot of the titles that have come out so far. I'm gonna say romantic, it works. uh, but I want to help monetize the channel. But Yeah, but it's speaking of which, I bet I forgot to monetize this entire video. I normally do. I forget that all the time.
What's that?
I forget to monetize my stuff.
To monetize. Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
all the time. And when I don't forget, I just look. I'm like, oh wait, they
You
they
forgot
they
to do it.
totally they didn't do it again.
Hey, does
But
Vinegar Syndrome have any, because we were talking about insect films and environmental disaster films, but does Vinegar Syndrome have any like machine gone wrong type of thing? Like I have a copy of Killdozer, one of my favorite films of machines gone wrong, but it's a Kino title, right? So, but
yeah,
I
what
just
kind? What?
wondered if you're in your catalog of films for Vinegar Syndrome, do they have anything specific machine gone wrong that you could recommend?
I don't really think so. I'm trying to think, guys. Is there anything that I'm not thinking of? As Machine Gun Run, not really. Although I love my cousin, Rod. She loves Killdozer,
I love
and
Killdozer. I remember that was one of the first films I remember seeing as a kid, and I just really loved that movie because I was watching The Bees and I was watching Killdozer, all that stuff.
well, the thing was, he had seen it when he was young, just like you,
Yeah.
but he never heard anything of it for years. Thought the movie was, he dreamt it. And I had like this science fiction like movies book, as a hardcover book, and I had all these like films like through the years, and it showed Killdozer, and it's like, oh my god, it really was a real movie. I didn't dream this thing.
Yeah.
That romantic classic, Woman's Torment. Well, there's Woman's Torment is one I recommend. I'm going to recommend that one.
Killdozer are a great band. I have to look that up too. The Car, of course, from 1977. You and I talked about The Car. That's one of my favorite movies from the 70s, and it really holds up. That movie really holds up, I think.
Good old James Brolin. The Hearse. I don't think the Hearse is but like a machine. Like Hearse is like more psychological, I think. But I love The Hearse. Joseph Cotton's in The Hearse, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I'm a huge Joseph Cotton fan.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen that film. Though.
Joseph Cotton, Shadow of a Doubt, right?
My favorite film.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite too. By the way, that's my top favorite, movie.
Is it really?
And I think it's Hitchcock. I think it's Hitchcock's favorite too.
Yeah, it's the Shadow of a Doubt was made around the time that his mother passed away, and it was the most personal film for him. It was more. A lot of Hitchcock is in Shadow of a Doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was like, it's one of those I saw when I was young. I was totally like in love with Teresa Wright. Like I thought she was like stunning. Like McDonald Carey, who I would go on being like Days of Our Lives for years.
Yeah.
It's kind of the romantic, non-romantic lead. But yeah, I love that film. And
it's such an amazing film. Such an amazing film. I mean,
I would love to see something like that. I want to see something different.
Yeah.
Deadline. Ticks is really cool. Actually, let me bring a couple of them over here.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I think you showed Ticks last time, but I'd like to see. That's going to go on my list now, I think.
It's a cool one.
Yeah, but you don't like to watch it.
Like they have so many good editions of like. I'll grab some more titles after as we go through. But a couple things I would recommend. And this is Ticks. So this is the 4K of Ticks. Someone recommends Ted Bundy, the Matthew Bright film. I haven't seen that one actually. But the way this is done, look, good old Clint Howard right there.
Oh yeah.
But you open it up, there's a slip case inside of it. Then like it's a 2 discs, the Blu-ray 4K edition, like a bunch of features, and like actors on it. We got like Seth Green, Alfonso Ribeiro, Clint Howard is in this one. Really fun film. Brian Yuzna produced it. Tony Randall directed it. Not the actor, but like the guy that did it too. Right. Amy Dolan's in this as well. It's a really fun film. It's like a lot of people that would go on to do stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a throwback to the Cheese Your Monster type stuff.
I don't know. It's Tick season. It's coming up on Tick season over here. I might not want to watch that one now.
Giant Tick season.
Yeah.
Blades. I gotta watch Blades again. There's a machine movie going around.
Is that a Vinegar Syndrome title? Is that a Vinegar Syndrome?
It is have you seen Blades?
I haven't seen Blades. See, that's good.
Blades is Jaws. It's Jaws, except it's a lawnmower, and it's on a golf course. But aside from that, totally Jaws.
I mean, that's great. I mean, you had me at Jaws right there.
Nightmare Weekend was your first. There's the thing. What is everybody's first Vinegar Syndrome release? What was your first Vinegar Syndrome buy?
My first Vinegar Syndrome buy. Let me go to the shelf. I might have to go to the shelf for that. Can I go to the shelf for that?
You can.
I'll go to the shelf for that. Hang on a second.
Everybody knows.
I'll find it.
It was like
what was yours first before?
Night Train of Terror.
Night Train of Terror. I'm trying to think which one was my first one, but I have to look at the shelf to see. I'll be right back.
Yours is Demon Wind. That's a good title going on, by the way. We got Evils of the Night. I Love Evils of the Night. Demon Wind. Yeah, guys, I was in Ontario. I was in Ottawa. I was looking for movies to buy, and there's this one store. It was above it was kind of like you had to go upstairs for it, and it had all genre titles. It's all the only thing it had. And like Night Train to Terror was there, and I remembered seeing it from when I was younger. Like I think it was on a BCI or Mill Creek release, like an old like edition of it. So I said, Night Train to Terror got its own like a Blu-ray. Like this movie's insane. And and then there's another film with it, so I grabbed it. And I think it was in December of that year. I bought some Vinegar Syndrome stuff. So what I used to do was I used to theme the movies I was going to buy by year. So I'd say, okay, I'm going to buy Scream Factories this year. I'm going to buy Criterion. I'm going to buy slashers this year. And that's what I tried to do as best as I possibly could. So one year I said, I'm going to buy WTF movies. And Vinegar Syndrome definitely had a lot of what you would consider WTF movies. And that's how I came about Vinegar Syndrome and started doing a lot of them on my channel. Roz was Herschel Gordon Lewis. We got Jimmy's was Witch Trap and Nightmare Sisters. He bought two at once. So what was your first one?
Here's the first one. I think I could show the cover of this one.
Okay. Best Friends your first one?
Yeah, that's my first one.
It's a good.
I got it with the slipcover. I got it with the slipcover, and I remember seeing that. I remember seeing this movie. Believe it or not, I think this was on TV in the 70s, right? It's from the 70s. And I'm pretty sure I saw it. It was from 1974. And I got it, and I really liked the slipcover, and I wanted to get it before the slipcover sold out. So that's what I picked it up. Let me see if I can show that, right?
No, it definitely is.
I don't know if I could show it or not. That was my first one. Do you have that one?
I don't. I mean, like
you don't have Best Friends? Oh man,
I need to. Like it's a good title.
It's a classic.
Corey's first was Spookies or Night Beast, which are cool. Which are two that everybody should have, by the way. Spookies got two fantastic. You got Spookies, right?
I don't think I got that one.
Dave, you got Spookies, man.
There's so many. I know, but that's why I do these live streams, so I know what to get next, right?
Like they got two documentaries, two feature-length documentaries on Spookies. One on the making of Spookies, which is amazing, and two on Vipco, which is a company in the UK that were putting out a lot of video nasties back in the day. Two really good documentaries, by the way. Spookies is definitely worth grabbing. Spookies is a lot of fun. Spookies was a movie where it's one of those like strange films, like Popcorn was, where the director made it, was like really big on it, and then they came in afterwards, and the producer didn't like what the director was doing, so he had a bunch of stuff reshot with another director. So and definitely worth grabbing.
That's on my list.
And like the second documentary, Vipco documentary, I think it's about 2.5 hours long, like set for the second documentary. Yeah, that's the thing. I am good at like guiding people to good films, but I'm not always good at getting them myself right. Unfortunately.
I have this thing now. I don't know if Aaron, this happens to you, but I have this thing now. I love my physical media collection, right? But I feel like there's not enough time to watch everything. I mean, there's so many great things to watch, right? And there's not enough. I think no matter how long I live, I'm not going to have enough time to watch everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I 100% get it. The thing is that, and the killer thing for me is I'm a reader. I'm a voracious reader. Here, oh no, a lot of people judge Surf 2, man. It's just I gotta watch that one again.
Surf 2.
But
Surf 2 recommended? Do you recommend Surf 2?
It's okay. Like Surf 2 is one of those. It works.
I could tell it wasn't.
It works best as like. Do you remember it? Like it was one of those just come on TV all the time, right? And if you got like fond memories watching Surf 2 on back in the day, then it's gonna make a lot more. It's gonna be a lot better than like say if you went in totally blind and expect it to be something. Like I watched a lot of stuff. It is super. Eric Stoltz is on it. There's one scene.
Well, that's the thing. You watch whatever's on TV at the time, right? I mean, so whatever was there, you're going to watch it. That's how probably I found Best Friends and other movies, right?
Oh God, I remember back in the day when like Halloween was coming on TV for the first time.
Oh yeah,
and they had that guy that was just meant to have the creepy announcer voice, coming tonight, Halloween, the music playing. Ooh, let's not get into Eddie Deason. Unfortunate what happened there. There were some issues with Deason, unfortunately. But Surf 2 was like was definitely one of those that you're either gonna like it or you're not. If you like Troma movies, Surf too. Yeah, if you're a Troma fan, 100%. Like gleaming, that's the
Yeah.
best way to put it. If you like Troma stuff, if you're picking up movies like Blades and Bloodhook, you're probably gonna be like you're the target audience for movies like
I
Surf
mean,
too.
Blade. I'm interested in Blades now that you mention it.
Like I have like it I have like people on here, EH, for instance. Wanted Blades come out for ages. So much. They wanted Blades to come out for ages. And Blades got announced. I'm like, oh no, not Blades. Because this one during my subscriber time. Like,
Yeah.
don't make a trauma movie during my subscriber time unless you're Toxic Avenger or Sergeant Kabuki Man. Which I'm surprised you've never done any of those, by the way. But I'm guessing those are traumas like diamonds. I've come around a bit. Like I've rewatched it like since. But I watched it in a time and I watched a couple other movies. And sometimes, like if you watch like 2 or 3 movies in a night or in a row, uh, another movie may uh, not work as well because you've seen something that's actually really good, or see something that really hits your fancy. You know, so like you're like I gotta get like I just say I like Trauma. Like I've met Lied. Actually, my better half had a really nice conversation with Lied. I spent like the entire weekend at the Montreal like HorrorCon with the guys from with Trauma. I bought a ton of Trauma there.
Wow.
Night Beast. Yeah. If you like regional
Weren't
horror,
we
Night
just
Beast.
talking? Weren't we just talking about Toxic Avenger when I mentioned the
Yeah, like
Bard
you said, that could
question,
be one of
right? The
the
Toxic Avenger was a classic, yeah, night from 1984, right? But it's
there's a
interesting.
remake of that one coming out now too.
Is there?
Oh yeah, it's like Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones is in it. Like it's actual like remake.
Wow.
Actually, I haven't been into Florida. That's one place that I haven't been. Like my one of my sister-in-laws, like she was in Florida actually last year. She actually she had her baby there.
Wow. Wow.
But no, I haven't. Shadow Evolve recently made a new horror movie. You're in the right, yeah, you're definitely in the right place if you love trauma films. Like if you like weird films, if you like really strange movies, welcome to my channel. Because that's my like. Here's one. If you like three, if you got a three, if you have like a, a VR system or 3D TV, this is a lot of fun. So this is Silent Madness, Dave. It was a 3D slasher film. And I actually have a T-shirt, a 3D T-shirt too, by the way, for this. So this came with the flat version of the film, a real 3D version of the film for real 3D TVs, and an Anogelf version, 3D version of the film for with red and blue glasses. So I always really kind of had a lot of fun with this movie. I wouldn't say it didn't exactly change the world, but as far as like how many like this is the cover most people remember it for.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but
It's fun. I mean,
haven't
it's
seen
it's definitely it's a fun film.
Can you watch it in 3D at home or?
You can because well, I don't have 3D TV anymore. I gave that to my dad before I moved here because the voltage didn't work here in Rocco. But I have PlayStation VR, and you can watch 3D films on PlayStation VR with the headset on, right?
Yeah.
But that also has Analog 3D, so it's got the red and blue glasses 3D as well. So you can watch it with 3D even if you don't have a 3D TV.
I love those videos that you used to do with your dad too, where there was so much film knowledge in those videos. I really enjoyed those a lot.
Well, my stuff it comes like my dad is the one that like got
Yeah.
me into this type of stuff. He's like he was like he's named after my dad's name is Glenn. He was named after Glenn Ford actually. My
And
mom,
for
my
wow.
grandmother was also a big movie fan.
Wow.
Pigs, yeah, Pigs is a rough one. Not for everybody, but I enjoyed it. Oh, also recommendation, guys, right here, Blood Games. You won't get the sexy slipcover, unfortunately, anymore, but Blood Games was a really good film. I was surprised how much I enjoyed this. This is one I recommend too, Dave.
Recommended, but you can't get the slip anymore, right? There's no slip anymore.
Team, right?
Yeah.
And they're paid to play like a kind of an exhibition game with these guys, and they're winning. And the guys are really pissed about it. So the girl that acts in this, by the way, became a very super big like stunt person. She did her own stunts in the movie, and and the end of that, she had to choose later on in her career whether she was going to keep acting or she was going to do stunt work, and she became one of the big stunt women in the world. And it's such a good film too. Yeah, actually, I was surprised. There has been nothing from Severin. I've been like talking Severin titles too, by the way, Dave, like on the channel and stuff, and I have not heard anything but a sale.
Interesting. Were there any other clues in that description that you saw too? Again, I'm just looking at that again with
this here. Actually, read that out when I go and get a Coke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a cola of unnamed variety.
Cola.
Dave is taking over.
I'm going to just read what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the description, not the titles that have been announced, but the ones that are the surprise releases, to see if anyone else has any ideas what they could be. So I'm just reading this from the Instagram post. Of course, we know you're as excited to see as we are to share our 2 secret surprise releases, which drip with blood and other regional charms. That's one sentence. And then there's the set of upcoming VSAs, which include the world disc debut of the longest ever version of a film with deep-rooted VS connections. I don't think there's any clues in this last part here, but meanwhile, the absolutely gorgeous outer boxes have arrived for our 4-film VSL collection. In keeping with their theme, 2 VS classics are due to be fitted with appropriately designed variant slips, with another 2 titles, which could be in everyone's collections, are also getting catalog slips. So that's all the clues we get, except for that photograph. I think that I have not seen Sudden Fury. Is that something you recommend? Let me know. That's the description, Aaron, if you're still there. You got a cola of unnamed origin.
Unnamed origin.
So I just read the last 3 paragraphs. I guess the last 3 paragraphs, because the others.
Are there any guesses?
I haven't seen.
Oh, by the way, yes, Sudden Fury. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen that. Have not seen it.
Exploitation film. It's Hitchcockian. It's this man and his wife. He's out to show his. I agree.
Sudden Fury. Okay, I'm writing it down so I can.
His wife like some land because he has an idea. He has like another kind of a. She's got the money, so he's got to ask her. Like kind of a get rich quick scheme. He's that type of guy. And she says no. She's like, no more of this type of thing. And they start to have an argument. And there's another guy on the road driving in the same direction. That's all I'm going to tell you, because this is one you really should own. I mean, if there's one that you pick up, it's a really good one.
I wrote it down. So
I did see Second Sight's announcements today. Did you want to see? Yeah, actually, I should mention that.
We could look at that. Yeah, we could look at that. Yeah.
We got the time.
Sure. Slightly.
Yeah, just a little bit.
By the way, Jaws 2 on 4K coming out, right?
Yes, actually.
There's a steelbook. There's also a steelbook coming out too, with some art cards and a bunch of other stuff. But I'm excited for that. That's coming out on the 4th of July, I think.
Like I know George, actually, friends. He's not here tonight, but he ordered it actually.
So I pre-ordered mine. So
we got Frontiers and May coming. Let's look at them both. I'm hoping that Frontiers means that we're going to get Inside, which is the one that I really want. So like this is gorgeous. Like it's a limited edition. They got a Blu-ray. They got a 4K of this one as well, by the way. But like, look at this. Look at the stuff for this. Great. Now I'm pretty sure. Like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't this one come out through? Was it through the After Dark Horror Fest? Were they the ones that put out Frontiers? Like in North America?
Not sure about that.
And of course, we got like Blu-ray and 4K. We got May here, and May is one I really like. Actually, have you seen May?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you totally haven't seen May. It is twisted as heck, but it is so much fun. It's Angela Bettis, Lucky McKee. It's definitely a different type of film. So May is this kind of unique, kind of different girl, and it's a weird sort of love story. And I really hate to give anything away with this one because you got the cast here: Angela Bettis, Anna Faris, Jeremy Sisto, James Duvall. Great cast. Look at the features on
A
this.
lot of extra features. Yeah, that's great.
That is fantastic. Yeah, new interviews with directors and actors. A brand new commentary with Alexandra Heller Nicholas is here as well. You got a rigid slipcase. So this is the blue. Does the 4K have that as well? This is Blu-ray. I hate when they put like black discs like Blu-ray because like I'm always like, hey, is that?
Yeah.
So these are Blu-rays. They're not 4Ks for these. These are Blu-rays. But everything doesn't have to be in 4K.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the thing, right?
That's right.
And it keeps the price down too. $27.99, pounds. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Like there's a ton of stuff here. Like I recommend both of these, by the way. These are actually fun titles. I'm not sure if Frontiers and fun are two words that you normally kind of put together. 8 Films That I. Thank you. I have that from 8 Films That I. Because that was the After Dark Fest. They did so After Dark. I'm sure you got some of these like Dark Ride and stuff like that was part of the 8 Films That I series. Then they had a film festival in Toronto, and then they put them out for. I'm sure Warlock maybe was there because he lives in that area. Then they'd put it like box sets, and I have like upstairs, which I can go get in a minute. And 8 Films That I box set, which was super cool. And Frontiers, I got that one because that one came. So what they would do is usually they have the films, and then there'd be like an extra film.
Yeah.
And sometimes the extra film would go separate from the other stuff. My cats are starting to roam now. Hamilton's,
Someone's asking about the Primetime Panic 2 box set. Is that happening, do you think?
It is. It won't be coming from Vinegar Syndrome's website. That one's going to be on the MVD Entertainment website.
Oh yeah.
Because Fun City Editions is going through MVD. Let's just
MVD Entertainment. Yeah.
Oh, McDonald's. There we go. Look, McDonald's Entertainment. It's not as great for me because MVD is in the United States and does cost a bit more money, and they don't always have stuff.
Yeah.
That comes here, and I find their site is not the greatest.
That's good. Yeah.
Find the stuff. Their site is hard, man. Find stuff. They put it like I love MVD Rewind titles though. I really do. But let's see if I put some Fun City Editions. Well, I get Axwood House. So there we go. It's right here. So this is volume 2. And let's see what we got for volume 2 right here.
Release date. The release date was up there, August 15th.
Yeah.
I think. Like if you scroll down a little,
right,
release
right
date 8/15. Yeah.
Three films. Michael Jaffe turned out a series of hard-hitting, topical primetime television movies. We got The Death of Richie, Incident at Crest Ridge, and The Seduction of Gina. So, is that Victoria Principal?
Looks like.
Yeah. Did we all not love Victoria Principal?
Oh yeah.
Those Dallas years. And I'm pretty
sure
it's
kind of similar. It's kind of similar to the design, right? For this is black and white, but it looks like kind of like a faded like newspaper type thing, right? There's the first one, so
exactly. And I dig that. I dig the hell out of that. Yeah, so guys, definitely recommendation on that one. Like just like Dave, I got the first one, and I really MVD releases are now released through Unobstructed View in Canada. Okay, our Unobstructed View getting better, Warlock. We had some issues with them early on, but I'd heard that there's some good stuff coming from them. You mentioned earlier that Unobstructed are doing their very first like limited edition release from their site, which is kind of interesting to see that they're doing that. Unobstructed, so Dave, they're trying to. It's a Canadian company. It's kind of they want to be the Diabolic DVD of Canada, which would be fantastic. I do actually, but I'm not sure which ones I got because I know it's.
I have some oscilloscope. I can show some oscilloscope if you want. I have some. Yeah. Do you want me to go grab some of those? I can show those if you want.
Oh, definitely.
The oscilloscope.
It wasn't expensive in the part. It was like for me, like Warlock, it was the idea of having movies that were sort of not the best like customer service sometimes. The only 8 film movies you ever saw was Mulberry Street. It was surprisingly good. So Mulberry Street was fun. Sales has discount. See, Arrow has some of the best sales. Like I think when it comes to hey there, Death Bomb Man, welcome. The Arrow some of the best still has some of the best sales that I enjoy. Arrow Indicator has great sales. Dave's back with his. So did you find it?
I have a few oscilloscope things, but I'll just show what I have. There's this William Burroughs documentary, which is great. Got a lot of extra features on the back too. It's kind of hard to see, a little glary there. I have this Arthur Russell documentary from Oscilloscope. I don't know if you've seen these before, but there's the back of that one. Yeah, this is one of my favorite movies that I watch quite a bit, and it's a film about Hal Ashby. So this is a documentary about Hal Ashby, which I think you can still get. There's the back of that one too, also Oscilloscope. There's an Ingmar Bergman documentary also. But anyway, the Oscilloscope stuff, they also do sales too. And so you can get these pretty inexpensively when they do a sale. Those are the ones I have.
Keep an eye out for some of that stuff, because some of that stuff I would definitely want.
Yeah, they have they have most of Kelly Reichardt's movies also, with like Wendy and Lucy as an example, and some other ones, Meek's Cutoff. And so that's where I picked up those.
I know the William Burroughs documentary is something I would love to have. That's an Aaron thing. My better half.
The cats are up.
Oh, my better half is up. She's going outside to feed the kitty cats.
Yeah, the Hal Ashby documentary is so good. It's real, and if you love Hal Ashby, movies like, there's so many great ones. I mean, Coming Home,
One Man Ways to Die,
Harold and Maude.
His last one, I think, one of his last ones.
One of his last ones, was it? I don't think I've seen some of the later ones, but during his really prolific period, of course. Working with Peter Sellers, right?
Kind of goes through Mongrel. A lot of stuff. It seems like a lot of stuff goes through Mongrel here, and not here. God,
yeah.
I still say here because I'm still.
Canadian. Are you going back to Canada? Are you going to go back to Canada at some point? Do you visit there or?
Yeah, I'm hoping. Fingers crossed to get back in September. Because I got, I want to see my family. I got some stuff there to pick up. I got some movies. I got some movies over in Canada, and I got some movies over in Paris. And I gotta get. I'm gonna have a big unboxing, guys. It's a really big unboxing.
The Last Detail. That's another great movie. It's another great Hal Ashby.
Let me grab my After Dark box set because it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the floor.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. If you haven't seen this one, I love the cover. I love this cover also. And of course, Shampoo is great. Last Detail, Harold and Maude. Being There is the movie I was thinking of. Being There, I think, is a brilliant film. So, but I just love this documentary that talks about Hal Ashby in his early days and working as an editor and things like that. It's a really great movie if you don't have it. And like I said, I think you can still get this one. And I have some other Oscilloscope too. But yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I regularly revisit Hal Ashby films. And I just think there's so many things. They're so rewatchable. They're so amazing to watch for me. I watch a few documentaries too. Like there's a Brian De Palma documentary that I watch regularly. There's a Sidney Lumet documentary that I watch quite often. And there's so many of those, types of movies that I like. The Landlord. Yeah, that's an early one, right? That's a great one too. I think I have that one also. But I don't have some of his later films. but I think there was a period, I think, with Hal Ashby where he was making amazing films, and I think the later films, correct me if I'm wrong, were maybe not as well received as something like Being There, as an example. So, any other predictions? Oh, Aaron has returned from the. Are all the cats up now, Aaron?
Oh yeah, like I was just upstairs. Petunia and Ollie are both up. Lordy and Goose are down there. Got to keep an eye on the door, so make sure it doesn't come open. Oh yeah, so I couldn't find like the disc because I got it in one of my boxes, but this is the original, like the slipcase for Frontiers from the After Dark Horror Fest. So, but they did put these here. So this is an After Dark box, by the way, guys. So 8 titles in total and this is one about. I lucked into this one, Dave. So I went into like a video game store, and they had a bunch of movies there, and every film was on sale for $2, and didn't matter if it was a box set or a movie. So I got this for $2.
Wow!
And it has The Destiny and Stone, Crazy Eights, Lake Dead, Tooth and Nail, Mulberry Street, which was a big one, Unearthed, Borderland, which was really big at the time, and Nightmare Man with Tiffany Shepis, which is one of my favorites. So, but the neat thing about it, and this is before, I guess, slipcovers became a super big thing, was that they had every one of these came in slip, as opposed to like nowadays when you see, it's not expected as much. Like these are Borderland, I remember like really liking, and Mulberry Street. Yeah, that was a different film. I liked it.
That's cool.
I wish I had more of these, actually. Like there's like slimline cases of these, but and I got a few of these, like other stuff like Dark Ride and things like that are like singles, like Frontiers was.
Yeah, it's great when you can get a deal like that, right? I mean, for $2, I can't. That's insane.
Yeah, I know. Like, and it's like one of those things that you don't normally see. And I thought, because I brought down like box set to bring in one of my favorite box sets of all time, and I think you'll appreciate this, and I'm pretty sure you got this.
I don't have that.
See. Oh, you must. So Val Luton collection.
I'm sure I would love it. But
it's got Cat People, Curse the Cat People.
Oh yeah,
Walk the Zombie.
Those are great.
Body Snatchers, Isle of the Dead, Bedlam.
I have Isle of the Dead. I love Isle of the Dead. Is great.
Leopard Man, Ghost Ship, The Seventh Victim, which is really good.
Oh yeah.
There's a documentary, The Shadows in the Dark, the Val Luton legacy. But because of this,
is that still around? Is that still around, Aaron? You think? I mean, I'm gonna have to.
I think so. What was neat about this, I'm
gonna have to look for that.
If you can get it, is because this specific set came with a second documentary called Martin Scorsese's Val Luton, The Man in the Shadows.
I'm just going to check to see because that is something I would love to have. Yeah, I mean, it's like super.
That's what I thought. Like, it's totally up your alley.
Yeah,
so this
I should have gotten
stuff I expect from VSL, like this style of title. I know some of these came out like with Blu-rays later on from Screen Factory. I think it's like Curse the Cat People did, and like.
I just added to my Amazon list, but I need to take a look for that one for sure, because that looks great. It does have the bonus one still, but it's
like movies too.
Yeah, that's wow. Fear of missing out, right? This is what a little FOMO, right? Oh yeah, I mean, come on, that's so great. I have the Isle of the Dead Ghost Ship. There's a Blu-ray of that. I think it's a Warner Archive release. So I do have Isle of the Dead, but
Isle of the Dead is so underrated. Like,
yeah, it's great. Boris Karloff, I mean, come on, is amazing in that. Oh yeah. Oh, Body Snatch. I do have Body Snatch. I think I picked up a lot of those, but I just picked up individual releases because they're on Blu-ray now. I think Warner Archive has them on Blu-ray.
Some of them, some of them actually.
I picked up the Blu-ray, yeah.
But like when this set came out, I was initially going to grab it, and then I waited like a week or two, and then the second set came out with the extra documentary. And Martin Scorsese is such a film lover that I knew I was going to love the documentary that he did.
Are you interested in Killers of the Flower Moon? That's the one it's getting some pretty good reviews. That's coming out later this year in October. Killers of the Flower Moon.
I am actually. You're going to
ready
find
for
very
that.
few things that I'm not interested. Let me just go over there for a sec. The door is slightly open, and my cats are
moving around. Yeah.
I legit knocked over my chair doing this.
How'd you do that?
I have no idea.
Hey, I was going to ask you in the new configuration. Maybe I missed a video, but do you have an area that you have just reserved for TV? Did you move your TV stuff into like a special area that you? Because remember, you used to have the TV.
Not all my TV, but like facing me right now, there's a shelving area, and on it we got like some pictures. We got like some 8mm like film projectors, and on that is like a whole bunch of TV stuff.
Oh wow!
So recently we were having like kind of a couples like watching night, and when we do that, we normally watch some TV stuff, and we decided to watch Vegas with Robert Urich. So we sat down and watched like a first disc of Vegas and the first 2 discs of Vegas, which was really cool.
That's cool.
It's so weird to think that like Robert Urich and Tom Selleck did a TV pilot together, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't pick it up because they didn't think that either one of the actors had the ability to ever, be the star of a leading man of a series. Hey, information that Craig has right here.
Craig has, yeah, the man of the which I have. I have the criterion. I have that criterion for.
So you have the documentary.
Yep, cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a neat thing to put in there because why not, right?
Yeah.
We're getting down there. It's like only 54 minutes away before it's sale.
I know.
Which is crazy. Which means I should go over the FAQs, by the way, before we go into this.
That's right.
Because we're getting there. How much your thoughts on this, by the way, as we go through? Okay. 12-1 Eastern Standard Time. We all know that now because we're coming around the time. We got 50% off of the SRP on titles prior to January 2023. So what we know is there's 2 secret Vinegar Syndrome releases, 2 brand new Vinegar Syndrome archive releases, the first VSL Labs box set. This is what really interests me. Some limited edition catalog and variant slipcovers and so much more. So I think we're still going to get limited edition. Like I was asked earlier, do I still think the early releases will get like slipcovers? There's not many early releases I can think of that didn't have a slipcover. That's not going out of print. So eventually they're going to have to go to variants because they'll have slipcovered everything. And slipcovers are their bread and butter when it comes to a lot of this stuff. And people will buy variants for slipcovers. But we know there's every VSA, every Vinegar Syndrome, Peakorama partner label release with a release date prior to January 2023, discounted 50% off the SRP. Titles with release dates beginning in January of 2023 will not be discounted. Special note, certain VSUs and VSP releases, merch, clothing, and a few older partner label titles currently under distribution by another company may not be discounted.
But is that a new thing, as you were saying before, that if you go back up again, there's nothing from 2023 that will be discounted. Is that a new thing?
Yeah, it's the first time it's ever happened.
It's first time.
Last year we got like January titles, and I think we may have gotten even February, but I know for sure we got January 2022 last year when it came to the halfway sale.
So why would they not include those? I don't. That's the thing. I don't.
They've been going back on this every time. What time do we go on Patreon? We go there at half hour before the sale starts, right?
So like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah, 20 minutes. So make sure you're there. I did get my Search of Darkness 3 documentary. It's in Canada with my mom. I bought the box set, so I got the producer credit thing. So I got box set with 1, 2, and 3 in the posters. Did you get that, by the way? The Search of Darkness was like an 80s party.
I didn't. Oh, was that a Kickstarter or something also, or was it something different? Yeah, I didn't. I haven't picked that up. So you were a producer on that, or?
Oh yeah, because I did Kickstarter. If you bought like a certain thing, then your name would be put down in the credits, which is
I remember
cute,
seeing that. Oh yeah, definitely.
They're really good. Like they're 80s, all on 80s stuff. So. But when you're looking at stuff that's here, I mean, like I don't see if there's no clues down here. They just say that to remember that after the sale, like next month, June, it's going to be partner label month. So there's not going to be any Vinegar Syndrome titles in June. It's going to be all partner labels.
Yeah. All partner
and
labels,
there's going to be 14 in total. So we now know there's 14 partner labels coming out in June. So that'll be interesting to check out. Normally, people can get get halfway subscription so that when June comes up, they get that 50% off coupon that's using the partner labels. But now they're starting the halfway subscription in July. So I'm guessing that might kind of take off some of the cost, hopefully, for the last half subscription, because it's another month that you're not going with, right?
Yeah.
And it's another month that you can't use your 50% off coupon. So that's, my thoughts anyway. So shipping, by the way, guys, $5 standard USPS media mail in the States, or $10 deluxe if you're going to get priority. $10 in Canada, flat across the board. For those in Canada, Vinegar Syndrome does have a shipping place here in Canada. When I was in Canada, they're in Canada, so you don't have to worry about it going across the border. It's not like a Severn thing where you got to worry about that. No, they have a place in Canada, so that'll come from Canada. International is going to be $18. FedEx International. There's no free shipping thresholds that you can hit during the sale. Please make sure that if you're going into here, grab the stuff that you want right away. Go in, get it, and then come back and say, there's a add to order on shipping option. Don't go back. Don't go in and order and use regular shipping. You may get it worked out afterwards, but it's going to take a while. But you can just add, so you're not paying an extra shipping. So your first order, doesn't matter how much you order afterwards, you can go in, add more. You can add some for me. That's always a thought, guys. By the way, I guess got to say this whole thing. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to join the Patreon, we're going to have a Patreon video here very soon, me and Dave. Yep. So in the section down below, you can join the Patreon and join us over there when we go to party for the Vinegar Syndrome reveal. And we have super chats and donations and all that. And when you do that, this is what happens. I will show you. I'll show you, Dave, what happens when somebody donates or super chats or super stickers. We get the ghost face cake appears.
That's cool.
That's your one free. Everybody gets one free. Yeah.
No, I was going to ask you if the shipping's a lot different where you are now than when it was in Canada. Do you have any challenges with shipping things to you there, or?
I don't ship things to me. Okay. I ship if it's North American, like Vinegar Syndrome or Severn or something like that. I will ship it to Canada either to my mom or my dad. Sometimes to the kids. If it is one thing's got better for me, if it's an arrow video or indicator, second sight, something like that, then it's great because I can ship to Paris. We have cool. Family and friends in Paris.
That's cool.
So when Indicator had their sale and Arrow had their sale right afterwards, normally that would be, I'd have to choose one or the other, right?
Yeah.
But because I'm here now, I was able to get really cheap shipping and get it shipped to Paris. Just got to go pick it up later on.
I was going to, what do you think of the latest Indicator releases? I think they're releasing some interesting things too now.
I love what they're doing right now.
Yeah, it's very unique. It seems very different for them.
I think if you're going to do 4K, then John Roland is a fantastic director to hit 4K with.
Yeah,
because he's such a visual director, such a stunningly visual director that I had somebody asked me, said, why do you think they're doing John Roland in 4K as more 4K releases than it is Blu-ray releases? Because it's John Roland, and anybody that's going to be buying his stuff is probably going to be going for a 4K edition. You find the $10 restoration thing they sold a few months back. Yeah, that's right. They told basically they did that last year too and it turned out to be a slip cover for the Invisible Maniac, right, Sean? I think it was for last year. It was $4, an April Fool's Day one, where you could buy the invisible slipcover, Dave. And they said it was actually going to be something.
Yeah.
And what it was it was really limited, lenticular cover for Invisible Maniac. And this year they had something where basically said, want $10 for restoration. You want to help Vinegar Syndrome. and it was actually is something a secret thing that's
Oh,
coming
wow.
out later here.
Wow. Sorry, you're in the middle of the FAQs, and I didn't mean to
I
get
was
you
in the
off
middle of
track there.
what?
You were in the middle of the FAQs, I think. You were near the end there, but the FAQs
Oh,
on the
oh yeah, no. Actually, we pretty much I think went through all the FAQs when it came to what there is. We know the shipping, we know what titles, except for the other ones. Frostbite Wrath of the Wendigo, shot years ago, and the chilly song has been stuck in your head ever since. I think if it gets to a point where you're wondering, oh, man, I really want to get this, but I'm not quite sure, you're probably sure. Like that's usually what it comes to. It's like with me, it's like, oh, do I want to get this? I do, but I'm trying to talk myself out of it and more than I'm trying to talk myself into it with certain titles.
sometimes I don't know, but I don't know if this happens to you, but sometimes, of course, I love any kind of movie, if for the most part. But I kind of like it when I'm not that into a certain genre or something because I know I won't spend money there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I
like
sort of like, oh, I like that, but I feel like I'm not going to buy that right now.
it's killer for me. Like one of the big things Vinegar Syndrome has done recently is they've partnered with Canadian and International Pictures.
Yeah,
I'm Canadian, and I have like a love of Canadian cinema. I really think that Canada is really underrated as a country when it comes to cinema. But and I have not yet in my collection do I have one Canada International Pictures, and I think more than any other partner label, I want some of their stuff.
yeah.
One because it's Canadian, two because their films. A lot of them are films that I remember. Some of them from my youth. Some of them are kind of just different, unique stuff.
Do they have Adam McGoyan films or Guy Madden or any of those folks? Like Adam McGoyan, right? I love his films.
Nug and McGuinn, yeah, like they've done some different stuff on a couple films. I know one of them. Remember, you know Gordon Pinson, right? The Canadian like
I think so. I think
actor
so.
passed away recently.
Hmm.
His wife actually was an actress, and a couple movies that they have actually had her in them. I better buy them. Yeah, talk to my better half about that, Rye. uh,
No, Rye said
yeah,
they
they
just
just
put
did
out an
Adam McGuinn's
McGoyan,
first
but
film, I think.
right, but like I keep hoping Criterion's going to put out more Adam McGoyan because I think I have a Region B box set of Adam McGoyan films, but they just put out Exotica on Criterion, right? So I keep hoping there's going to be more from Adam McGoyan, at least on Criterion, but maybe other labels too. That'd be great.
Yeah, like I love The Sweet Hereafter. Like it's definitely it's not a happy film, obviously,
Very
uh,
serious film, yeah, for
but
sure.
a very really good film. Like my better half is right there. She's like, "What are you thinking, Ann? Are you excited about this sale? Are you half asleep?" She's half asleep. Gina looks insanely crazy. I want to watch Gina. I want to see Gina. So Gina, by the way, Dave, is a Canadian International Pictures one, and it's a revenge film, and it has I think a gang of like snowmobile, like a snowmobile gang, as opposed to like a motorcycle gang.
Yeah.
So yeah, gotta love that.
But I was saying Criterion transfers are problematic. I'd be interested to know a little bit more about that too. I feel like, and maybe it's my eyesight as I get older. I don't. I'm just happy to have the movie sometimes.
Yeah, like I haven't really found like anything's been bad for me when it comes to Criterion. I mean, some of the like the Godzilla box set like that I got,
Yeah,
obviously they could only do what they could do because Toho, gave them, you use the prints we give you type of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but Vinegar, I will say, yeah, Rise right. In fact, Vinegar Syndrome does some great work because that's what they're known for, though. Like
Sure.
Criterion's a company that's meant to be like give out the most important films and unique stuff. Criterion, like Vinegar Syndrome, a restoration company
Yeah,
that went into the movie business, like did their own label, and because of that, you usually be very rarely will you ever find a Vinegar Syndrome that doesn't have really good restoration.
right, right.
But overall, I found like most Criterions I've got a good rest. My only like
For the
iffy one
most part, yeah.
is Unibaba, the first release of Unibaba on DVD. That was a pretty crappy restoration for that one.
Didn't they? I
Uh,
thought they re-released that, but maybe I'm
they did
wrong.
actually. I don't have the new one
Yeah,
though. I only got the crappy
yeah,
one.
yeah.
uh,
Sound mixes. Okay, wrong aspect ratio, color correction, sound mixes. That's good to know. I mean, that's good to know. Like I said, for me, for me, when I watch movies, a lot of times like I said, it's more of a mood, or I'm looking at other things, right? I mean, I was watching The Thin Red Line, the Terrence Malick film, the other day on Blu-ray,
Fantastic.
and it looks beautiful. I mean, it looks amazing, the Criterion release of it. So
And I think we also came from the days of VHS, so we know how bad a movie
yeah,
is
we know
quality.
how bad it can be, right? So
We
and
know
then I
EP
feel like,
quality VHS.
yeah,
Actually, here's a question I
yeah.
want to know, because I don't have any Cauldron releases. Do you have any Cauldron
I
releases?
don't have any Cauldron releases that I
Think about Purity, that City
City
of
of
the
the
Living
Living
Dead
Dead.
4K.
Hmm.
So Cauldron is a company that's done by the guys from Diabolic DVD. They made their own company, made their own label, and they put out some different stuff. Like American Rickshaw was put out, and that's one with Mitch Gaylord, I think.
Hmm.
Um, but I do want to have that one. There's a couple different ones that I want to get from them. I almost picked some up actually when I was in Canada. And we're 43. Is it 43? I'm going to check.
39 minutes.
39 minutes away from
39 minutes away.
the big announcement.
There was a question about any predictions on major releases for the remainder of the year from the boutique labels.
Where hobby will go. Interested to know where hobby will go. I predict we're going to get a lot more Asian cinema. It seems to be kind of where things are headed right now. Warlock. And we're going to get some stuff from Vinegar Syndrome that we've seen before, I think. I think we're going to get some more stuff that came out from either Scream Factory or Chef Factory that they no longer have the rights to. But we're going to get 4K versions of them with a lot of extra features on them. And for me, that's good. For some people, like they don't like that. So they said, well, I bought early Scream Factory stuff. I got a lot of the early Shout stuff. I don't want to have double it over.
Yeah.
But I think as middle of the media, I think that's said that, collectors, honestly, we do that. That's one of the reasons, we're collectors. We do end up like doubling over on certain things.
Yeah.
Like not on everything, but like movies that we really like.
Sure.
So like I like the Halloween films. I got like several copies of Halloween films. I got the Scream Factory big box set. I got the 4Ks. I'll definitely I've got like Black Christmas here, like a rare like Canadian Blu-ray edition of Black Christmas called the Season Grieving Edition from the 1974 Black Christmas. Does that mean that I wouldn't pick up the 4K from Scream Factory? No, it means I'm 110%.
You will get the 4K. Yeah, that's right.
Because it's my favorite movie.
Yeah. Well, as you know, Jaws is my favorite movie, and I have 6 or 7 copies of that movie.
Yeah.
So
I love Jaws. We saw that recently at a drive-in, and which was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that? Because we picked it up, the Jaws Padut on a Blu-ray, but it was in a VHS case at Walmart.
I don't think I got that one, but
It was neat. They did it for Jaws and Breakfast Club, and a few other films.
Breakfast Club. Oh wow. Yeah, I still have a VHS, and I have the Laserdisc. I have the Laserdisc for Jaws, and I have all sorts of copies of it. I feel like with our favorite movies, though, you want to have extra copies, right? You want to have backups.
Oh my God, yes. And there's so many different ones. You're like, okay, I got to get this one's got a new feature. On this one, I got new documentaries, new interview, like type thing. I got like 2 T-shirts. I got 2 Jaws T-shirts, by the way.
Yeah, I have a couple myself. Yeah, and of course, we were just talking about the Jaws 2 4K that's coming out, which I've pre-ordered already.
What? Dude is saying he's predicting a Ted Michaels box set from Severin. I would not be surprised, considering the directors that Severin have done. I'm still very surprised though. What's my favorite Jaws clone? Grizzly.
I'd say the car for me, but I love the car. But as we talked about,
yeah, there we go. Between both of us, we got them both. I do love the car. Freaked out my stepmom when my dad and her went to see that one in the theater with James Brolin, right? So
yeah, oh yeah.
And I got the scene with that soap opera actress, actually. I think from Young and Restless is
I can't remember now. Yeah,
jogging down the road.
Yeah,
and the car is like kind of coming up. And she was it scared her so much.
It's scary. That's a scary movie, though. I mean, really, but it really holds up, though. It's from 1977, right? I mean, I feel like it really holds up.
He had a great taste, yeah. You gotta say, your friend Gary's in Jaws 2. That is amazing. Wow. Jaws 2 is one of my favorites because you're going to know this, Roy, because you know me. I like soap operas. And in Jaws 2, Joseph Mascolo, the guy that played Stefano DiMero, is in Jaws 2.
I do remember
Yeah.
the Jaws board game. Someone mentioned the Jaws board game, which was like a
Yes.
plastic. It was a right, and there was like stuff in the
I
mouth,
wanted
and
it
you had to
so
grab
bad.
it
I never
out.
got it.
Yeah, I'm sure you could still get that probably somewhere.
But I'm still looking for a Rom Space Knight action figure. So
Hmm.
anybody know where I can get one of those up, by the way, guys? Without paying $1 million on eBay?
Is that the only thing you're looking for? Are there other things that you're really looking for? Like, what's on your list of things that you really want to get that you just watch on
Collectibles?
eBay or something? Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be films, memorabilia. Like, what's
Uh,
you know?
well, Rom Space Knight. Well, Rom Space Knight, the omnibus, the Marvel Comics omnibus, got announced this week, and I'm a huge fan. When I was a kid, I had still have epilepsy. When I was a kid, I had seizures all the time. So, and I mean, not the little seizures, but the big ones that put you in the hospital.
Yeah.
So I would end up in the hospital, and my pop would go across to the pharmacy, and he'd buy me a bunch of comic books. And usually, it was around the time period that Roger Stern was writing Spider-Man and Rom Space Knight was around. So I used to have them all the time. So unfortunately, Hasbro and Marvel kind of broke up, and then you couldn't get them anymore, right? But I always wanted to get the action figure. There's like a Rom 12-inch action figure,
Yeah.
and it had like this kind of red glowing thing. Wanted a Rom one, and my friend had the Bionic Man, $6 million man with bionic eye, which
I
had
had
like
one of those. I had one of those too. I love that.
oh man,
That
I
was a
wanted
great. I
that
should have
so
kept
bad
that. I should have kept that. I know I should have kept that because it's that was great.
because they put it like $6 million man. They put it Oscar
Yeah.
Goldman, and they put it
Yeah.
the Bigfoot guy.
I didn't
And one of the
realize there
first
was an
things that
Oscar
I ever
Goldman.
saw.
I didn't think there was an Oscar Goldman out there. I thought they just did this $6 million man. That's cool
Oh
though.
yeah, there's a Bigfoot too.
Yeah.
They're rare because $6 million man is obviously the biggest character, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I remember when the first things I ever saw on TV was black and white because I'm old, and it was the Bigfoot ripping off. No, it's the $6 million man ripping off Bigfoot's arm, and
Yeah.
was it vice versa. And that's when you find out it's actually an android type thing, a robot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Original
cool. What a
Shogun
great
Warrior.
series
My
that is.
better half of
Yeah.
that, I think.
You do have Jaws 5, right? That was the other question. That's Cruel Jaws, right? I don't have Cruel Jaws. I should have picked that
I
up too.
do.
I
I
should have
also
picked
have
that up.
the novelization, so that was kind of cool.
I didn't know also Guillermo del Toro owns a working replica of the car that he drives around. I didn't know that.
Oh, does he really? I did not know
true?
that
Is that
actually.
true? That sounds like it'd be fun. Yeah. Oh, Oscar has a robot face in a suitcase. That's pretty cool.
Oh, he must be one of
Oscar
like
Goldman.
there's the
Oscar
bots,
Goldman.
remember?
Yeah.
Like the botsword characters were bigger in actually in the Bionic Woman because they had like the fembots.
Yeah.
And they actually kind of make fun of it in Austin Powers, the second Austin Powers movie. But there's these characters that would kind of their face would come off, and they were like to be actually like kind of robots.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there was already AI back in our day, right?
There you go.
There's
And AI
already
did better predictions.
exactly right. Exactly.
Oh, I also have, hold on.
Yep. Oh, you have the $6 Million Man series. I love I have the individual series. Oh wow, is that the lenticular $6 Million Man? That's great. Oh my goodness,
It
that's
actually
great.
came out from Time Life. It was the original one. I found
That's
this at a
great.
pawn shop, and it had like the movies and the whole works.
Oh wow, wow, that is so cool. I have the 3 seasons, I think, or I have like individual seasons. I don't have the box, but
There's like 5 seasons, and plus there's the TV movies when they really didn't know what $6 Million Man was going to be. So
I love Warlock cheap for $6 million. That's pretty cheap.
I got this for $10. This was amazing.
Wow, yeah,
That
those
was
are some
great.
great finds. I love that lenticular. That's great. Wow.
And it was like not as easy always to find those exclusive bonus feature DVD.
Oh wow, wow.
Over 14 hours of bonus features on 5 discs.
What is it? Is that just commentaries and stuff, or just like behind the scenes kind of thing?
No, this has the reunion movies too.
Oh, really? Wow.
So
I think Lee Majors is still around, right? Isn't he? I don't think he's. I think he died yet. I think he's around.
I still around, right?
Yeah,
So.
Lee Majors, right?
So this is the cool thing here because we got Return the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman, Bionic Showdown. I remember seeing these on TV. $6 Million Man, and Bionic Woman. And there's like there's 3 of them altogether, the reunion movies. And there's Bionic Ever After. One of them has like Sandra Bullock as the.
Oh, really? Oh, really? That's interesting. Wow. Now I have to search for those, which I'm.
Oh, they're fun. I'm sure they're out there for fairly cheap.
They're out there, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's great.
See, guys, so you can go to many channels and just find Vinegar Syndrome stuff, but you're gonna on this channel you'll find everything.
That's right,
including $6 Million Man, time-like box sets.
I'm so glad you showed that. That was so cool.
Because I love that stuff. We got of course the Bionic Woman too, because I love that show.
Oh yeah.
What are the surprise titles? This is one, Valen. I'm not sure. I wish I knew. One of the few.
Lee Majors played Ash's dad, and yeah, that's fun too.
I love Ash vs. Evil Dead, actually.
Yeah, I remember Lee Majors in The Big Valley. Remember The Big Valley?
Yeah,
that's with Barbara Stanwyck. Yeah, Barbara Stanwyck was in that. Peter Breck, remember that? Peter Breck, Lee Majors.
To have the Cruel Jaws Toilet Seat cover. Yes, I do.
I think Cruel Jaws was maybe streaming, and I saw part of it. I was like, oh, I need to get that. I really need to get it.
It got Severin in trouble because that's stuff in that they weren't supposed to have out there.
Yeah.
So because they were initially going to be putting out what was the movie, guys? They're going to put a movie, and Vinegar Syndrome had to end up putting it out because they couldn't do it, and all the work was done on it. We are almost to the point, aren't we? Do we have? Is this the time? Do we switch?
It's 28. Yeah, because you're already. Yeah, we're already 11. You have 28 minutes left.
All right, guys. So we are. I'll send you over. I didn't know if I sent you the link.
I don't think you sent me the other link, but you can. Yeah.
Well, I'll send you the link there as soon as I got off. So, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I want to thank Dave for coming in here. We are going on over to the Drop Dead Fred. Thank you. That's the movie Creepy. I was thinking of. Hey, Mike, welcome. We're going on over to the Patreon channel. We're going to be there. It's ramping up for the big reveal. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of you guys over. If you're Patreon members, or you think become the Patreon member, it's a great time. And thank you so much for joining me. Hit that like, share, subscribe button on the way out. Thank you, Dave.
You're the best, Aaron. You're the best, Aaron. Let me just say.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say you're the best. Go ahead.
Dude.
We'll see you over there.
Say that.